welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're back with another Japan 2023 vlog, continuing our adventure leaving Tokyo. So we decided to head into the Japanese Alps, specifically into Nagano Prefecture. We were heading to Matsumoto, and we were going to spend a couple of days in the region. We had some hiking planned, and just general walking around the town of Matsumoto. There was a castle that I really wanted to see, so that is definitely on the menu for today's vlog. So we got to Matsumoto in the early evening. We went to a book off, kind of walked around a bit, but I didn't film much. So let's just go into the next day, where we took a train to a small town called Narai. Narai was a postal town that was part of a trail called the Nakasendo Trail back in the Edo period. Quite literally, it was a town where samurai stayed in and traveled to and from Tokyo and Kyoto. So of course, we had to go and see one of the towns on the Nakasendo Trail because of the history and the architecture, and we also wanted to do a little bit of hiking the trail ourselves. This town is so picturesque and beautiful, and there were not very many tourists around. So I highly recommend, if you ever get a chance to go, try checking out one of the towns along the Nakasendo Trail. As we were walking around the town, we saw a lot of old temples and shrines. And this temple that we went to visit had a lot of interesting architectural aspects. So there was obviously the gate, and there was a beautiful bell tower with just amazing stonework to it. And then we take a look at the garden. I mean, that garden is immaculate. It is just stunning and gorgeous and so serene when you're walking through. So this temple was called the Chosenji Temple, and this temple is very well known for a very beautiful dragon painting that you can see inside the temple on the ceiling, right above the entrance. As we were walking along the main strip, there were all kinds of local artisans selling their wares. I did a little bit of shopping because I like to support local artists wherever I tend to go. Finally, we reached the edge of the town, and this is where we saw a very beautiful red torii gate and a road leading up into the mountains. And this is where we found the beginning of our hiking trail. The beginning of the Nakasendo Trail, for us at least.
Alright, so we just finished visiting Narai, and now we are going to attempt to do some hiking. And the temperature here is much cooler than it was in the town.
But the work to do is much harder.
Yes, we have to go up and then we go down. So, yeah. it says 1.5 kilometers, and we have walked 0.81 kilometers, I think.
Kanazawa, this is the old battlefield of Tori Pass.
Oh shit. Keep the bears away. So we have made it partway up. We have passed 4 bridges. It was 4, right?
Yep.
4 bridges. We have passed by an ancient battlefield site. Maybe not ancient, but like an old battlefield site for sure.
It's like 500 years old. Okay, boomer.
But yeah, we're taking a wee break and then we're going to continue onwards.
We made it to the tea house at the middle point between Narai and Yabuhara. And it has this wonderful flowing water.
I am going to rinse my arms and legs. Yes. So this is a rest house. Look at this wood. Oh, it's so nice in here.
Okay, 1 bridge, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really? There's only 7 bridges?
There might be one down there at the river there at the end.
We'll see how it works with these long straight parts and this wiggly bit. But yeah, we made it here. We've seen some monuments. We've seen the tea house. Toritoge Pass is this painting. That's what they were talking about, the bird. And here's Yabuhara Juku.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
All right.
let's go.
Ikimashou!
Yeah.
So we've been hiking on the Nakasendo trail and we encountered a shrine. So we've just passed through the torii gates and we've come across this building. And this is such a magical place. It's really cool. Highly recommend this. So, right around here, behind those clouds, is Mount Otake, which I think is a volcano. I think it was the 2nd highest volcano, according to Wikipedia. I'd have to double check that. But yeah, I don't think we can see it because the clouds are in the way. But, I mean, this is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So we made it.
Yeah.
We finished that part of the Nakasendo Trail. And now we are in which town, Corey?
Yabuhara.
Yes. So we are going to go to the train station and we're going to see what time it is because we still have a ways to get there. And maybe we'll get dinner here. Who knows? But yeah, it's a really quiet little town, very cute. And yeah. So we are at a train station and we are waiting for our train. We've been here for about half an hour and the sun has set and we're still going to be here for another half hour because that's how it works in rural towns, right? And we're the only ones here. I'm wondering if we're going to be one of the only ones on the train as well. Oh, I guess we'll see.
The next day, we stayed in Matsumoto, and we started off by going over to the Matsumoto Castle. Matsumoto Castle, once upon a time, was called Fukashi Castle, and it is the oldest of the remaining original castles in Japan. It is one of 12 original castles where the original wooden structure still exists. I don't know if you know this about wooden castles, but wooden castles are prone to catching on fire and burning to the ground. This castle happens to be from the 16th century, so it's pretty old, and I'm so happy that I got to see it in person. Once we got our fill of seeing the castle from the outside, because we did not want to go inside on that super hot day, it would have been stifling, we decided to walk around Matsumoto and just kind of take in the sights and the scenery. It really is a lovely little town nestled in the northern Alps in Japan. Unfortunately, we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time in Matsumoto. We only had like the day, essentially. But from what I saw, I would like to come back again. I think it would be well worth a second visit to explore more, especially if it was in like a cooler season, like autumn. And it was, in fact, in Matsumoto that I got to try the tasty treat of shaved ice for the very first time. And let me tell you, it was delicious. Then it was finally time for us to be off to our next destination. This time, we were heading towards Kanazawa. Unfortunately, we encountered a little bit of inclement weather due to a typhoon, which caused us to almost miss the last Shinkansen from Nagano to Kanazawa. Since we managed to catch the last possible Shinkansen, we got to Kanazawa pretty late. So we basically arrived at the train station, walked around a little bit, found some food. We found some wildlife in the waterways of the city. But yeah, so we found a nice ramen place that opened up late, and then we went back to the hotel to crash, essentially.
So this is our room in Kanazawa. So much space. Man, where was this room when we had WCS? Like, this would have been perfect. Like, wow. But yeah, super cool, super cozy. And wow, I mean, this is even bigger than like some of the hotel rooms that we have here in America, in Canada.
The next day, we decided to spend the majority of the time inside because it was quite hot. So we went to one of the local malls and we found a Love Live pop-up store and display area. And I was not aware that the new Love Live idols are actually from Kanazawa until I went to Kanazawa and discovered that. So you could say that I did a little bit of a Love Live pilgrimage without actually realizing it. The next day in Kanazawa, we decided to go over to the old samurai district. So we spent some time walking around the city, and we eventually found ourselves in the older part of the city, which led us to the samurai district. The architecture in this area was really, really stunning. It was so peaceful and quiet. In the samurai district, we went to go see the Nomura-kei samurai residence. This was a residence that was owned by the samurai family Nomura, and it's basically been restored. It's an Edo-era home, and inside the home they have their own kind of like mini gallery of artifacts and weapons and various sorts of like pottery and tapestries, which is really cool to see. As it crept closer to evening, we started to head back to our hotel, and along the way back, we decided to go visit the Oyama Shrine. We had wanted to see if we could go into the Kanazawa Castle Park, but by the time we finished up in the Samurai District, the park was already closed. So we decided to just take a look at some shrines around the area, and, you know, just get in those good, serene vibes, right? This park was empty. Absolutely empty as soon as the sun was going down. So we basically had it all to ourselves. We got to explore as much as we wanted to. Now, obviously, when it became dark, it was harder to, you know, see things. But that's what we have flashlights for on our phones, right? Now, we did actually get to see the outer wall that surrounds the Kanazawa Castle Park. But we didn't actually get to go in, so that will be a thing that we do the next time we go to Kanazawa. And that's it, folks, for this vlog. After this, we basically ended up heading over to our next destination, which you will have to wait for, because that vlog will be coming up hopefully soon. I know it's been a while. It's been over a year since we've actually been in Japan. But they're coming, I promise. In the meantime, if you like this kind of video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now!